Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Something to Chew on talk show. We have an amazing guest today, Lisa Elle, on the topic of energy meets strategy for wealth. Now, I have been coaching women for the past 12 years on inner work, on helping them achieve their ultimate health through inner healing and nutritional principles. But what I have loved in my own journey of witnessing women go through inner spiritual journeys, inner healing journeys, and hosting these retreats and things is getting them to understand how they can also connect to a new consciousness of wealth. And there is no better person than to discuss this topic than the beautiful Lisa Elle. Lisa Elle is someone who has she's the author of How to Kick Financial Assets in Sexy Shoes, which I love, but she's a wealth strategist, a financial planner, and has helped so many women. And I love that she's very branded towards women. I know you work with men too, but I feel like you are this perfect blend of energetics and strategy. The down to the this is what we need to do to build your wealth, but also you understand, and I love reading through your book of all this personal development work that people can embark upon to build wealth in their lives. So thank you, first of all, for joining us.
Thanks,
And
Christine.
I am over the moon. We are going to be touching on these two very important topics, and I want to dive into the energetics first. And I don't even really like the word energetics. Well, I like it, but I think to in layman's terms, it's sort of like, what does that mean? Even for me, it's this idea of no matter where you are financially, and I think so many people go through what I like you say, get your raining boots out too. In what part of your book, get the rain boots out because there's going to be some downfalls and there's these waves we go through in our finances for many people as far as I know, but understanding that there's a consciousness of wealth creation, whether you have a job that just sort of, this is how much money you make. There are other avenues to call in. I always like to think there's this almost like there's a pipeline and we're just opening a tap, and there's a tap is maybe what I would call someone's job. There's a tap that's this is your job, but there's so many more taps we can open and let the floodgates in, and that's what a lot of people might refer to as your femininity or your ability to receive or your ability to kind of envision and call in. I'm so curious to start here on your perspective around the energetics of money and what that means to you and how you see people being able to tap into that.
I love this. This is one of my most favorite diagrams I've created. I'll kind of give you an idea of what the diagram looks like without the diagram. But
Yeah.
basically, we've got the masculine and feminine side of money. And I
Yes.
liken the masculine side of money to the foundation, to like I call it the dance floor. Like think of like when you go to, you're at a wedding or something, you go on the wooden dance floor, right?
Yes.
The nice
Yes.
big dance floor. So you've got that support. So the masculine side of money is what I really help clients with. So what is the masculine
Yes.
side of money? That is the spreadsheets, the systems, the wealth strategies, right? You need
Yes.
to have all those things in place to be able to create wealth. Now, what is the feminine side of money? It's like the dancers that dance on the dance floor. So the feminine
Mhm.
side are the dancers, the dancing with the stars. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the fun. The feminine is the fun. It's the flow. It's the giving and receiving and the it's the creative side of you. It's the ideas. It's all of
Mhm.
that. That is your feminine side of money. That is like where you get your intuitive downloads for what it is you're doing with your money. But you
Yes.
need to have the masculine. The masculine
Yes.
and the feminine energy work together. You need to have those systems and that support, that structure underneath you to make sure that you can continue to like live in the fun flow side of life with your money. Because if you
Yes.
don't pay CRA and you don't pay your
Yes.
taxes and you don't,
Yes.
make your debt payments on time and blah 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 blah, like if you're
Yes.
not saving money for your future and retirement and have life insurance if someone passes away or disability or like all these different things in place,
Yes.
you can't just be 100% in the feminine and vice versa. You
Yes.
can't just be 100% in the masculine. Like I have clients that come to me on both sides. right? And so
Mhm.
then I've had clients where I literally have to say, you need to have more fun with your money, because they're all in the
Mhm.
masculine side of energy of money. I've had
Yeah.
clients where they're like, and this is okay, so this is a true story. 80-90% of clients that come to see me, which I totally get, which makes sense, we're all in the feminine side of money. We have
Y
the ideas, we're the entrepreneurs. We're like, I want to do
yes.
this and this, or whatever it is, but we're lacking some assistance with like the masculine side of money. So that is
Yes.
totally what I see is most people do. Like they have their ideas for what business or their job, what doesn't matter, even the life they
Yes.
want to create for themselves. That's the idea,
Yes.
right? Even if it's your
Yes.
retirement, right? But you need some structure in place. So that's where I come in and help. But I love painting that picture because that is everything. You
Yes.
cannot be fully in one side and not the other. You need
Yeah.
both, and they kind of have to be in this dance and this flow between the masculine and feminine.
I love that. And so, and I want to park on the energetic side before we go into the strategy side, because I see a lot of women who don't almost believe that they're capable of having
Mm,
more. They're like, nope, this is the, and what you're describing is the masculine, sort of that logical side. And there's this, the thing that I learned the most going from mechanical engineer, masculine spreadsheets, this is my paycheck, putting away my 10%, but never felt more broke in my life, never felt constantly just lack. I just felt so much lack. And I was like, I thought that I became an engineer to have wealth. And then moving into this, I think for me, a really powerful moment in my life, and I don't encourage everybody to do this, but when I left my job, I really was kind of thrown into what I call the real world, which is the energetics of money, because I didn't have a job anymore, but I had the ability to create money or attract opportunities. So can you speak to that little bit of the woman in the baseline, this is what I earn, because you have some really powerful, like, this book is amazing, by the way, everybody needs to get this book. You have some really powerful book recommendations in here that I was like, oh yes, because there are habits, rituals, mindset growth, just to get to a place where, I feel like the people that are going to be watching this are going to be probably the women who are struggling to some degree with money, right?
mhm,
Or feeling like I don't have enough, or they only make so much a year. What would you say to them on an energetic side of that femininity, to even understand that their capabilities of creating
mm,
more wealth in their life, or
mm,
building that side business? Because I've always found the people, resources, circumstances will come to you when you are open or believing or expanding your consciousness to some degree. Of just believing it's possible is almost a first step. But what would you say to someone like that? They're in some debt, they only have so much. Like, how do they even get into that frame of mind to even attract more wealth?
Okay, this is gonna sound a little bit, I don't know, take it for what it's worth, but we need
Yes.
to start with a desire. Like if you don't have desire, you're dead in the
Yeah.
water. So at least like when you're seeking out financial advice or help or a book or a podcast or listening to this, there must
Mhm.
be a seed of you. So I'm preaching to the choir, because anyone
Yes.
who is watching this already has a seed of desire to have money, to
Yes.
create wealth. Like we have to have that desire. If you don't, you're not even like tuning into this stuff, right? So you
Yes.
have that desire. So that is like literally the first thing. Um,
Love that.
the thing with us as women, I think a lot of us have not been like, we've been programmed to not want, to not desire, to not allow ourselves to really dream big. So that's a part
Yes.
of this whole exercise. But once we go past that, like the foundational step for you to build wealth is to begin to trust yourself and to have confidence with your financial decisions.
Mm.
This is what has been broken with us. I always tell this story. I'm like, I'm going to ask you this, and I've asked myself this so many times, but it's like, what if you were in full integrity with yourself, with every time you said you were going to go on a diet, or every time you said you were going
Yeah.
to save money or invest money or take this course or do that thing? Like we've all said we're going to do these things, and then we break that trust with ourselves, and we've broken that integrity with ourselves. And this really foundationally comes back to the beginning parts of creating that trust with ourselves. And so how do you do that? One real practical thing to do is like say, I don't know, but start somewhere. Like I'm just going to be silly right now, but like I'm going to invest $10 a week. I don't know, pick a number, a
Yes.
million
Yes.
dollars, $10, $100.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what that number is, but start creating trust with yourself. Start building that integrity back with yourself. Like if you're going to do something like invest $100 a week or $100 a month, doesn't matter the
Mhm.
amount, doesn't matter where, but just start somewhere and build that with
Yes.
yourself and then do it. Just do
Mm.
it. And then you will start getting that confidence, right? You get a lot of things from that. You get that clarity,
Yeah.
confidence, and courage around your money. Because a lot of women, going back to answer your question, like they don't have the confidence to make financial decisions. This is like
Yeah.
where I want you to learn more. I want you to learn how to do this. But to start doing
Yes.
that, you need to have that trust with yourself, right?
Yes, and managing what you got. I think that's a
Hmm.
really powerful one too, because I was in the trajectory when I became an entrepreneur of, okay, I just need to go make a bunch and then I'll figure out all the stuff.
Hmm.
And then it almost was like this, like really beautiful crash and burn that I went through that I really got to discover, oh, wait a second, no, there is some pieces to this puzzle that we have to grow from the ground up. And if you don't,
Hmm.
it's almost like you don't pass go, you don't collect $200. You don't, if you don't get these pieces in a row, you won't go to the next level. You can't try to
Hmm.
bypass a lot of things, like you say, even just the simple things of paying CRA and managing, having all these things in place are this amazing foundation that almost allow you to create more wealth in your life. So I
Hmm.
love that. I love that. And you had some, I love your shoe analogies in here because you talk about the flip flops, like procrastination and indecision will never be your friend, although they sure like to cuddle. And I think that's what you're speaking to is this sort of uh, this integrity with yourself. You don't have to be in the best financial situation right now, but if you start to make new choices, get some plans in place, you can change the
Hmm.
trajectory of your life pretty quickly. So how do you have any stories of people of, or what's your understanding of, just how quickly things can turn around for people?
Like it is, this always blows my mind is the second you make a decision. This goes for business,
Yes.
for anything. It's like the second you
Yes.
commit, and it's kind
Yes.
of like you burn the boats, right? That
Uh-huh.
was that the Napoleon analogy.
Yes.
It's like you burn the boats and you're like, okay, there's no going back. Every single time Providence moves with you. So, one of the things too, I like to say, like, this is just again, like a simple example, but what if you were like, okay, I want to, whatever you're saving right now on a monthly basis, what if you're like, okay, I'm going to increase that by like 1% a month or 10% every 6 months? Like, if you made yourself a goal and you're like, I don't know where that money's going to come from, the money shows up. It just shows up.
Yes.
It's like you can't even explain it. It just shows
Yes.
up. And that's the whole
Yes.
funny part about money is that it is energy and that you can't explain it. And
Mhm.
like this is the stock market, this is the crypto markets, this is everything we have going on, the real estate market, like everything.
Yes.
It's like this is, you really can't explain it because you don't know all the forces and all the powers that be and everything that's going on, right?
Yes. Oh, okay. And my final question around the energy side before we dive into more of the strategy side is this is something I notice with women, and it's that power of language.
Mhm.
And you said the really great word, which is decision. I'm deciding, and I think that's where people forget how much power you have. And you said providence moves too. It's
Mhm.
like mirroring us. I think money and wealth is mirroring our inner game. And so, how have you seen that shape people? Is there other things that you feel? Because you have some great habits in here too, that have nothing to do with money, but just like it's almost like this art of becoming the wealthy woman is how I see it as I'm
Mhm.
reading through. I got so many chills because I was like, oh, she knows all the things. Like it's so magical almost. But what would you say to especially the words that I get a lot of women who say, "Oh, I'm broke." And I was like,
Mm.
"Ooh, let's not say those words. Even if you feel broke or
Mhm.
you might feel
Mhm.
that way, let's shift the language and because providence will move too. You will
Mhm.
keep getting more examples of things that will make you feel broke. How have you seen that play out?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, you need to take radical appreciation of your life. There's another word I wanna use, but, like, radical inventory of all the things that can prove to you that you have it. See, the thing is if you say you're
Mhm.
broke, you need to find, like, your mind starts looking for evidence that you're broke,
Mhm.
and it starts
For
like,
sure.
yeah, bringing that about, right? So it's like we want to find evidence that we're wealthy. And this is like, yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like we have to like change that inner dialogue.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I struggle with this. I think we all struggle with this, but it's so, mm, it's just
Yeah.
always there for me.
It
For me too, there's so
when
many
you get
things.
yeah, when you get to that level of awareness, it's quite profound. I used to when I first became an entrepreneur, I was doing all these events with lots of like expensive groceries and high-end food, and I would leave them and say, "Oh, well, maybe one day I'll be able to eat like this." Almost like I couldn't afford it for myself. And it was like, "Oh, I'll do this for other people, but then I'll sit there and eat my rice bowl," kind of thing. And then I had a mentor that said that literally nipped that in the butt and was like, And within 30 days of just stopping the chatter, it was like exactly, it's wild how it shows up. And you had this is the other one I had flagged here was about the clogs. You are where you are in life because you consented to it. Every bit of it. Something you need to say is, I don't consent to this anymore. I love that
Mhm,
quote because it's taking that personal responsibility without shame.
mhm, mhm. Taking your power back. I love it.
Yes,
Yes,
and saying,
yes.
"Okay, I'm in a place that I am ready to call in more wealth, to get my finances together, to build out a wealth strategy, to open my mind to possibilities." Now I come to Lisa and what let's dive into some of these strategies because we're a little beyond I mean, obviously Rich Dad Poor Dad is a kind of one of those big wealth books that's like, I loved your story about your dad too in your book, but it's that save your 10%, but we're so far beyond that now. Where do we even start with our concrete strategies? Like when we come to see you, I know you go through beautiful wealth plans, and I suggest everybody, get into a wealth plan because it changes the whole trajectory of your life, really. But where do people begin with strategy?
Well, to begin with a strategy, we need to know where we're starting, right?
Hmm.
Like, it's like a measurement. See, everything we're doing is math, it's numbers, it's very simple. It's not
Yes.
it's like grade 1 math, but we need
Yes.
to see where we're at. It's kind of like if you wanted to lose weight, you have to weigh yourself. It's kind of like
Yes.
that, truly.
Yeah,
So
face
it
face your
just to
reality,
see
yeah.
where you're at. Yeah, and it is facing your reality, and this is the hardest thing, is like ripping off the Band-Aid. So
Mhm.
I have a client registration form. Literally, like, when you go to the doctor and you get the registration form and
Yes,
you have to
yes,
sit there in the dentist office or whatever and do your like your check marks or whatever, the whole
yes,
questionnaire. I give that to my clients before they even meet with me. And can I tell you a secret? And I say this to my
yes,
clients. I'm like, even if you never meet with me, if you fill out this client registration form, you will be more organized than probably 90% of people in the world.
yes,
So
yes,
you've already accelerated your wealth by just knowing where you're at, by getting organized, by understanding, even like filling out the questionnaire, right? You can tell when you're at the doctor's office what they're trying to get at. You can like,
yes,
or you're doing like one of those quizzes, kind of what the results are going to be anyways. It's the same thing with your money. Get organized around your money. You need to, what does that mean?
yes,
That means like you need to know where your monthly expenses, like what's your burn rate? And not only
yes,
that, I also get clients to go, if you're in a place where you're like, if you're very frugal by personality, I'm like, I challenge you to create a dream budget. Like,
mhm,
here's your current expenses, but what's your dream expenses?
yes,
Like, what does your
yes,
dream life actually cost? Maybe research that if you
mhm,
haven't done that, um,
mhm,
and see how much money you need every month. Like, because like, there's no point in setting arbitrary goals. Like, everyone, like, this is the thing that is my biggest beef is like everyone's like, "Oh, I need $1 million." Like, what does that even mean?
yeah,
Like, some
totally,
people
yeah,
actually need way less, and some people actually need way more.
mhm.
So, like, or want way
And for
more,
what?
want way less.
For
Yeah,
what is a great
yeah.
question too,
For
right?
what? Like, what
What
are
do
you
you
doing
want
with
the money
this?
yeah, and then also
Yeah.
how is that gonna make you feel? Like, I find on the way to wealth building, you get the opportunity and you feel that confidence once you have a plan set out. You get to feel like I don't know, I love the phrase "coffee still tastes the same," whether you have
Yes.
$100,000 in
Coffee
debt
does. Yeah.
or or 2 million in the bank. So it's really a big journey of how you want to feel. And that's where I love what you
Yes.
said, like getting real about your expenses and then absolutely the dream life. When I did that exercise, I was blown away at my overspending and kind of, I was way more in the feminine, like, oh, money come, money go. it just keeps flowing in. It's
Yeah.
fine. Like, because I opened up the taps and I was excited about the taps opening that I didn't manage. And when you manage it, that is also such an energetic, like, thing to look at and honor. And it's like a relationship. It's a
Mhm.
respectful relationship. And if you have that anxiety of opening your bank account like I did, and I think a lot of people do, I thought I was the only one, and then I'm like, oh, so many people have financial stress. And then you realize that's part of your growth too, is being able to sit there, take some breaths, and open it up and start a new chapter.
Mhm.
So we have our expenses, our lifestyle mapped out, and then we want to, and I think that's brilliant, is the map out what you actually want to strive for, believe it's possible. Because a
Well,
lot of
yeah,
people will be
like,
like, oh, I want this.
what is your dream retire like, I sit with, like, real people in the real world who have real
Yeah.
pensions and are
Yeah.
64 years old that are like, "I'm retiring next year." I'm like, "I need you to tell me what you want your life to look like." I can't, like,
Yes.
help you, direct you into, like, how
Yes.
we can make smart financial decisions, like tax decisions, without you telling me that. So yeah, it's a great first
Yeah.
step, definitely. Knowing your net
Yes.
worth. What's your net worth? Doesn't matter where it is. Are you in the process of increasing that? Or are you know,
Yes.
like, are you heading into a positive net worth? Doesn't matter where you're at. I have
Yes.
a tool. I think it's actually one of my freebies. It's the net worth maximizer
Mhm.
on my freebie page, but it like literally is like I always say, I'm like, doesn't matter where you're at, but do you know how much you're increasing your net worth by every month? Like, how much are you
Yes.
paying down your mortgage by? How much are you adding to savings? So
Yes.
I think that's also like, those are like foundational pieces, just, as a
Yeah.
place to get started.
Yes. And then I mean, I attended your event. That was phenomenal. It was so many things that I never even considered. I was always raised as this, like, buy your real estate, get your home, and all these things, and to build wealth. But I was so eye open to your real estate form was just brilliant because it was so detailed around, is it the best choice for you, kind of thing. And I've been
Yeah.
resisting that for so long because it's such a should in my world, but my soul doesn't, my heart is kind of more on the side of, like, or I don't need to have a house. I don't need to be that
Mhm.
person. There's so many other avenues that actually have, in some ways, better financial payouts without
Yep.
needing to. It's actually might be even better for me to just rent at certain places that I find. So I found that really, really insightful. So, what would you say are some of the things that, on a strategy level? So, obviously, we have real estate. I mean, you have a list of wealth building, tools, making your money that you earn work for you
Mhm.
in ways. And what are some of those bigger ones that maybe people aren't aware of, that you feel called to share with the people, mostly? Like, what are the
Yeah.
big ones
I
on your
mean,
heart?
well, it's not even the big ones. I just like to teach what is available to you. Like, that's the
Yes.
event you're referring to is my Wealth Collective event. And what
Yes.
the whole point of that day in that event is to strictly like say, okay, look, there is more than one way to build wealth. You don't need just real
Yes.
estate or you don't need just the stock market. And when I like
Yes.
lay it all out, I'm like, let's really talk about the markets. I think I have like seven off the top of my head. I don't have my nice little graphic, but like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we've got the real estate market you mentioned, the stock market, there's the bond market. We're talking about debt instruments. We've got the commodities, we've got the crypto market. Um, there's foreign currency, right? Like we've
Mhm.
got foreign
Mhm.
exchange. There are so many different things. I forget some of the other, anyways. But like
Mhm.
just right there are so many different ways in each of those things to build wealth, right? Like to work with wealth, to money is always in flow, is moving around. How do we get our little slice of that? How do we, you know,
Yes.
invest in different projects, capital projects, whatever? Like, how do we move things forward, right? And that's what investing is. It's all about increase. The other thing is it's important to know, I think as humans, we are built for increase. We are here to multiply. We are here to survive as a
Yes.
species. And this
Yes.
is the one reason why I always say too is like you need to really follow mass psychology because we are built for increase. And because of that, seriously, the stock market by theory will always increase. Yes, it will have
Mhm.
cycles. Everything is cyclical, but
Yes.
we need the ups and the downs. But in over time, we are going to grow. We are going to grow and do things better. That is what
Yes.
we are here for. Like that is our innate purpose is to increase, to grow. right?
Yes. Yes.
And multiple, like everything is to increase. So when you hold that as like a belief and you can live with the ebbs and flows, like right now, the crypto market's down a lot. And
Mhm.
the stock market had a fun week again. And, but, you
Mhm.
know, like there's so many different moving parts and like tracking that's fun. And we're all just guessing. Anyone who thinks
Yeah.
they know what they're doing, they're lying to you because we're all in the same boat.
Yes.
We're just trying to take what we know and make smart, educated decisions around our
Yes.
money. And
Yes.
so that's kind of like where we're at. Like those are some of the like actual things. Where can you put your money?
Mhm.
And the other thing too is like, yeah, and I didn't say too, like there's like venture capital and private equity things, and but like there's so many different ways to make money,
Yeah.
right?
And I really love and even just in real estate, it's like, well, you don't, it can be your own home, but you can also buy real estate to have Airbnb properties. There's just so many ways of taking, your 30,000, 50,000, 70,000, 80,000, $100,000
Hmm.
and putting it somewhere
Hmm.
that helps it grow for you, which I just, it's such a logical thing when it's stated, but it's almost like, why aren't more people doing this? Why aren't we
Hmm.
looking at, phase one? I think so many people are just caught in maybe phase one where they don't feel like they have enough. I think that's
Hmm.
personally what I see is
Yeah.
they think that they need to have more money to do the things. And I have learned it's the opposite. You do the things and then you start to grow the wealth. And then you're one of those people that I love what you say on your sheet. Are you ready to look in the mirror and this is what a wealthy woman looks like?
It's like, yeah.
It's like taking that identity in to say, this, I am a wealthy woman. Even just that declaration to me is such a shifting declaration. No matter where you're at, you just almost there's a guy named David Guillaume that I follow that I love in teachings the Kabbalah, and he was $800,000 in debt. And he just said, I woke up and I knew the Kabbalah teachings, universal principles, that my consciousness has created this for a reason. And I am going to walk around and say that, and I'm going to walk around and I will feel the most abundant. I will not speak a word of lack. And he just sort of started to do that. And he was the founder of Mary Ruth Organics, which became $100 million company in 3 years.
Wow, amazing.
So you find that consciousness, and then I feel like all of these strategies that you're talking about too, the stock market, the this, I genuinely believe that will start to, even for me in my wealth growth, guess what? You came into my world, right? The people start to show up that help you grow things. So it's like stay in that connection of, I'm ready to build my wealth. And I think with your guidance, people can find that what aligns for them, right? I think that's
Hmm.
a big part of what you kind of go over too, is what aligns for your vision and your life,
Hmm.
So what's another thing that you would suggest for people in their, if they're like, I don't know where to start, like, who do I, like, the $100 a week, what do I do with it, where do I put it?
Well, that is a good question because it's not only how we're investing, it's like what type of account are we investing in? It's like what are
Mhm.
investments, but then also what type of account and then the tax implications around that. So
Mhm.
that's where you should like talk to your accountant, talk to your financial advisor, make sure you're putting it in the right vehicle first
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
tax purposes. And then I think I have an analogy of like purses where it's like all the purses, like you've like, your five purses, one might be your TFSA or your RSP or like whatever type of
Yes.
account you have, but they all have different tax implications. So we need to actually solve that problem first,
Yeah.
because you need to figure out what purse you're going to buy.
Yeah, I
And
like this.
then you have to figure out like, then you can figure out what you're going to put in that purse, like which lipstick and which like,
Yes.
like
Yes.
wallet and stuff. So, we do need to do that first. So yeah, like there's like, but there's simple things and they don't take that long to figure out. And once you have that down, then you're off to the races. Like it really, I always say like it really only takes like an hour or two of your time to really get the lay the foundational work to get your
Mhm.
accounts rocking and rolling. And what we want to do is create those channels, like the conduits. We want to create those conduits
Yes.
of wealth that, like you're saying, the taps, we turn on the
Yeah.
taps. We need to have the account set up. You need to know where next time you get a windfall of money, that it's
Yes.
going to go into your TFSA or it's going to go into this investment account or this specific,
Yes.
choice of investment. If you don't have that groundwork laid, even when you have no money, how are you
Mhm.
going to know where to put your money when it does come in? And
Exactly.
and money wants to be told where to go. It needs to know be told where to go. So
Yes.
if you don't even have the accounts and the way to set it up, then it doesn't know where it's supposed to go. So it might not be coming to you.
It might not be coming to you. It is. It's like I think everybody gets their own experience of the truth of that statement when you do the thing, but it's like people are almost don't believe it until I'm like, better believe it. You go do the thing and it does start to show up and it's wild or the idea or that it's unbelievable. I'm watching my nephew who's like 20 years old and he's just has such a big wealth consciousness and he's got his investment things and he's doing amazing because I'm like he's just aligning, he's creating taps of his flow. He's set up the accounts like you say. It's like go get the account set up, get someone to support you because that's what I think too is talk to the people that are the experts to get you
Mhm,
set up. It can be an hour of your time and it changes everything. So
mhm.
and even a great accountant like you say and you guys do sort of what did you say at the wealth event you said you're like the second eye sometimes if you already have your accounting thing you're those second eyes that can really review things from
Yeah.
another perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, second opinion, I always say, I'm like, a lot of us have okay, and this goes for women too, like, specifically. We don't want to offend people. We don't want to
Mhm.
offend people. We spend our whole lives being people pleasers and not trying to offend anyone. So,
Mhm.
I understand that. So let's, like, if we can't I mean, like, our goal is to transcend that. I get that. Me too. Like, I'm a lifelong people pleaser. But if we
Yeah.
can't do that, then what I offer is like a second opinion service. So if you're and I say this because what if you're like you've had your financial advisor, your brother's your mortgage broker or your,
Mhm.
uncle is your banker or whatever, or your best friend's your
Mhm.
accountant, but you're like, I don't know if they're necessarily like doing the best job for me or answering my question in the right way, or I just need a little bit more support. That's where
Mhm.
me and my team, I created this like independent financial services boutique firm because I'm like, okay, you're going to have stuff laid out. You're going to have a lawyer, an accountant, a banker, a mortgage broker, or this or that, insurance, investments, right? So what we do is we can like me and my team can like fill in any gaps that you might have. Like that's like what we do. And or sometimes you just want that second opinion. Great. Leave
Yes.
your business where it's at and you can get
Yes.
these services out there, right? Like
Mhm.
we're doing it on a fee for service basis, not on a oh I need to sell you something a commission basis. So yeah, it's
Yes.
really helpful I think for people who just need a second opinion.
Absolutely, because you'll do a little bit of that deeper work. I mean, I had an accountant for several years that never suggested things, never really like he just kind of did things. And then I got a new accountant. And he looked at everything, was like, wow, you're like, there's like $30,000 a year here that you are throwing out the window. And I was like, I felt like betrayed that how could this
Oh,
person not have
yeah.
seen that? How could they not have told me? Like, what a waste. I just felt like mind blown that that was even a thing, right? But that's, I think, what we go through in the human experience. If you don't maybe get that second opinion, if you don't, and it's funny because I've sent two people just to this person to shift that. And it's like once you get those second opinions, it's like there's so much money to be saved and even what you said at the beginning the simplest thing of writing out what you're spending and what your lifestyle
Mhm.
is that alone that exercise to me probably saved me $5,000 a year
Mm,
the amount of auto pay things I was on
mm.
and when I actually looked through your statements it was around $300 just in auto pays for things that I don't no, more than that. It was probably $500, but I have some business stuff that I need, but there was some other ones that I was just like, "I don't actually need this one. I don't need this one or this one and this one, $20, $20, $20 adds up a lot."
Oh, yeah, that is, like,
Yes.
literally the newest form of soul sucking
Yeah.
is all the subscription models, it makes me crazy, yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, what else do you feel like on the strategy side? So, people come in, they work on sort of lifestyle design. I like that you talked about in the book about looking at what do you want your lifestyle to be. So, okay,
Mhm,
say I'm someone who works, a 60, $80,000 a year job, but I want to, go to the Hamptons. No, I don't want to say the Hamptons necessarily, but like I want a richer lifestyle. I want I want to be able to go on vacation. I always say, and I love this at a menopause event I was at last weekend. They said, I was sitting there like, yes. There was a wealth advisor that said, have your menopause fund for your trip to Italy with your girlfriends ready, or your trip to Bali. And I was like, yes, because I host retreats to Bali. But I see that too with a lot of women that like, I can't afford to go to Bali. I was like, oh my gosh. To me, the answer to that isn't, oh, okay, bye. It's like, how can we help you afford to go to Bali? Like, I don't feel like we should ever feel limited in that regard. So, say we
Abs
have this idea now, we want to, I mean, obviously, there's going to be these investment things, and um, and I know you did have some awesome charts that may be good to send those out in a follow up email to everybody, just to show some of those wealth building charts, because it's amazing what you can build in 5 years. 5,
Mhm.
10 years. But what would you suggest is someone who's like, okay, I live off of $80,000 a year. It's not going to be enough. I need the $100,000 lifestyle. It's the champagne budget with or the champagne taste with the beer budget.
Yeah.
What, then what do we do?
So, yeah, like, at the end of the day, we need to start creating, like, income producing assets in our life. You
Yes.
have to be aware of that. So what does that look like? It's like, seriously, are you putting money into, like, a dividend producing stock that's gonna produce you a dividend, right?
Mhm.
Are you like, what are you doing? And I think some of that too is, like, having a business. That's one
Yes.
option and, like, a side hustle, but, like, how do you create streams of revenue, you know?
Mhm.
And I hate using the word passive streams of like, passive income,
Yeah.
because I'm like, nothing's passive. If it's truly passive, I think you're losing the energy around it and it dissipates and it
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah,
My
for sure,
opinion,
for
my
sure. It
opinion.
can be leveraged.
Yeah,
I prefer the
yeah,
word leveraged, where it's sort
exactly,
of like, oh,
100%,
yeah,
yes.
I
Yeah.
agree with that,
So
because
I just
passive is
say,
like
but we do want multiple streams of income. Like, we want
yes.
different streams of income because A, that's diversified. Sometimes though, when we're building our multiple streams of income, because I am building multiple streams of income, but we still need that one source of income. So if that is your business, I mean, business is a great way to do it if you have a job, but like, how can you be of service to someone and create more revenue, right? So
Mhm.
that is where it has to start, because then once you make that extra revenue, instead of just having what we call lifestyle creep, where your lifestyle,
Yes.
like, every time you make more money, then your expenses go up because you
Yes.
buy the new Rolls Royce and the new
Yeah. Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you're buying, right? Or the fancier home or whatever. But like, how do you make more money and actually, like, I want to say save it, invest it? Like, that's
Yes, I
like
like
there
this.
is discipline there. There is discipline there, right?
Yes,
And yeah, that's all.
and I
I mean,
like
it's hard. It's a hard
the
love.
word
It's tough love.
it's tough love, and there's accountability to that too, right? Because it's, I love that you said, go find other ways. And the inner work side of me wants to say, sit with your journal and ask, what other ways could I be of service? You
Mhm.
said the word service, which I think is so powerful, because one of my mentors used to say, money doesn't lead, it follows, and it follows
Mm,
people who are of service. When you
mm,
have value to give, you are you are valuable.
mhm,
So if you don't have value to give, become more valuable. So learn a skill set, learn something that you're passionate about. I think we all have passions, and that's one thing that I'm always passionate about, is helping people unlock what they're passionate about. Because
mhm,
sometimes it's get stuck in the rat race of the job, the bills, the this, and we need to kind of zoom out for a second and look at our life from a bird's eye view and say, is this what I want? Is this the wealth I want? How much money do you want to make?
mhm.
How many people ask themselves that? Well, I do, but there's not a lot of people that they just sit there and say, I can't afford. Well,
Yeah,
what would it take to afford?
yeah,
How much money do I need to make? Solution focused mindset
yes.
to connect to all of these things
Mhm,
and come into that wealth. So I
mhm.
I love that combination, like you say, that the feminine
Mhm,
masculine are just the two secret
mhm.
sauce recipes, the ingredients of the
Yeah,
secret sauce.
yeah, oh, for sure. I love what you just said, and, like, the thing that dropped in for me was, like, ask better questions. Are you asking, like, better
Yeah.
questions? You're asking the wrong questions. If you wanna get better
Yes.
results, ask better questions, and you'll get better answers.
Absolutely.
Mhm,
That's absolutely it. And I think when you really take that accountability for that, I've had to go through it. I mean, that's the thing is I've sat there and said I can't afford and I'm this and whatever. And then I changed the questions. What would it look like if I could afford? And it's amazing how quickly those answers can come. And it's amazing how quickly, the more you're able to grow as a person and show up as that identity of someone
mhm,
who has more wealth, the more these things will start to align and you'll be the person that has the accounts and the financial advisor
mhm,
and those are pieces to the puzzle to me like I call it filling in your grid. If you want wealth, your wealth grid includes a Lisa on your team. It includes these people and watch what happens in 2 years when you
mhm.
start just shifting that trajectory. Just your event, that one day shifted my entire trajectory of where I thought I was even going because I had such I don't know. I was just sort of in this like, oh, I'll wait till I have more and then I can do these things versus like, no, you do the things and then you'll have more. It's a little bit of
Yeah.
a flip the script.
The be do have, right? Like, you
Yes.
need to be the wealthy woman first,
Yes.
then do the thing, and then you like, yeah,
Yeah.
versus like, I think how we have it is we have to do the thing, then we're gonna have the money, and then I'll be
Yes.
wealthy. So I
Yes.
have
And
to
that's
do, and that's
backwards.
not how it's like opposite of that.
It is exactly opposite of
Yeah.
that. And that was, I think, my biggest
So
aha moment too, was like, wow. And now can we talk a little bit about I was so intrigued too by things like silver and gold and like these things are other areas of wealth building. It's not
mhm,
money, it's
yeah,
minerals or what, so what does that
yeah.
look like for people?
Well, I think, like, first of all, you can go like, I say go and buy physical silver. I always
Hmm.
tell all in all my talks, I always say, I'm like, especially as women, I'm like, I want you to make sure you have cash on hand, to, like, have at least 1 month's of kind of living expenses cash on hand. If something ever
Yes.
happened and, the electricity's out and your credit card, like, our internet's down and you can't use your credit card and your debit,
Yes.
right? Like, have some cash on hand, but have silver. Okay, I don't want you to have so much cash on hand because you're gonna lose money on your cash. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line. It's right. Like it's an
Yeah. Don't have
inflationary
like
asset. It's
30,000
like,
cash.
yeah, we are losing money to inflation. Like the
Hmm.
the US dollar is down 11% this year. Like
Hmm.
if you were holding US dollars, you're down 11%. So you're losing money holding cash, but cash is
Yeah.
still important, right?
Hmm.
I always joke that cash is king. Well, cash is king because that's what's gonna like that's how we're still transacting, although things are shifting to crypto, like to blockchain technology. But we've got silver and gold. They are you want to invest in deflationary assets. So that would be
Hmm.
things like equity in companies, cryptocurrency. Why? Real estate. Why? I'll tell you why. Gold, silver. Why? Because there's a fixed supply. This is all like
Hmm.
basic economics. Like there's a fixed supply and demand. Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Gold, there's only so much gold. I mean, I know they're mining more. Like, yeah, but it's in essence, it's going to hold its value.
Hmm.
And we need to at least be invested in assets that are not going to lose to inflation. So unfortunately, the Canadian dollar, you don't even want to get my opinion on that, but like any of the dollars
Yeah.
in any of the countries, but the
Hmm.
bottom line is there's just so much debt there, and we wanna make sure we're being smart with our money. So you're not
Hmm.
gonna sit on any cash, like, say it after me, I'm not gonna sit on any cash in my bank account. I'm gonna put those dollars to work, even if it's sitting in silver or gold or something. Yeah.
Okay. And you have, people come to you that you have this I love the word boutique too, services. And actually one thing I wanted to go into before we go into that is divorce.
Oh, yeah, fun.
It's
I'm
such a
going through
huge
mine, so
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're sort of a testament to the power of having your own wealth because
Mhm.
I know you mentioned it at the talk, and I work with women in divorce too on the healing side. And so, but I thought, wow, yeah, this is profound because for me, I've been pretty single most of my life and very independent financially, which has been sometimes I want my knight in shining armor to be like, can you can you come in? But then it's like, but I'm so grateful that I've have this ability to create wealth has been the most probably the biggest thing I'm the most proud of in my life
Mhm.
because of the independence and the um Yeah, that independence, and I think kind of wanted to speak to this because I know there's so many women that sort of rely on their partner to provide wealth in their life, and I would love for you to just speak to the maybe the importance or what you see in women and what they can maybe do if they are maybe going through a divorce and going through that financial burden or stress right now of a divorce where they're like, wait a second, this is also my financial supply.
Mhm. Yeah, I think when you're going through divorce and especially if your partner was the one who handled all the money, like specifically in
Yes.
those situations. So, okay, so whether you're married or going through divorce or just where you've been in a position, I don't know, maybe you had your dad manage your trust fund your whole life and you still have no idea. Like at the end of the day, no matter what
Yes.
type of situation, is you need to take your power back to yourself. And what that looks like is actually just learning what you have, understanding, getting knowledge, asking questions. Like
Mhm.
it's scary, I know, because I deal with so many women who are maybe in their 60s and 70s, and I had a call with one this week, and she's 70 years old, going through
Mhm.
her 2nd divorce,
Wow.
and is like, "I don't know any of this," and she's 70 years old. Like, just if you think about that, it's like, okay, she is literally like, "Lisa, I need you to hold my hand, and, like, we're gonna learn this, I'm gonna learn this." She's finally taking, you know, ownership of her financial situation, and taking her power back, right? So,
Yeah.
I think it's just important to, like, know that there's a safe place out there to ask questions. Use
Yeah.
ChatGPT, use whatever AI, but, like, go
Yes.
online and search things, ask your dumb questions to the internet, or talk to
Yes.
someone like me. Like, I don't judge. I think that's why women love me because
Mhm.
I can take, like, a lot of women, and now they're not only that, but they're inheriting a lot of women. I've got clients who come to me, doesn't matter,
Mhm.
like, I've had clients in their 30s and also in their 70s come to me with millions and millions of dollars. Why? Because
Yes.
they inherited it. So they didn't
Mhm.
work for it, but they inherited it, and they're
Mhm.
like, they literally do not know what to do with it. And to make a plan and to make sure they're not getting, like, swindled. I'm like, "Yes, education is so important, right? I don't want you to get
Yes.
sucked into, like, financial products and things that just do not serve you."
Yes.
So I think it's just, like, really important to just, going back to what I was saying, like, we're taking stock. We're like, "Okay, what do I have? What am I working with? How is this gonna provide income streams for me when I'm, like, an old lady?" That kinda thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what am I doing for retirement? And also, people like that too that get a lot of money. This is where kind of the wealth consciousness comes in because some people
Mhm,
get a lot of money, they lose a lot of money because they
mhm,
don't have the wealth consciousness to hold and manage, and that starts
mhm,
now. Like your ability, this isn't something you avoid.
mhm.
If you avoid it, you will pay the price, pun
Yeah,
intended. But it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
I've learned it, and I would consider myself a fairly intelligent person who did all the what I thought were the right things and kind of had a loop de doop. And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh wow, like there are some things to know about your ability to hold wealth, your self-worth. And I think your self-worth is also mirrored in your ability to show up and have those uncomfortable like
Mhm,
questions and face things and have things written down and have some financial goals. And it feels so empowering. It's the most empowering feeling to actually know where you're at and feel like you can actually grow and you have that security feeling.
mhm.
So you've spoken about your consulting and type things, but there's a lot of different ways that people can work with you. So I'd love to just chat about that quickly because you have a group too for people who just want maybe access to you. Can you share a little bit of the different ways that people can work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, like I always kind of say, like on the low end, you can buy my book. It's great, like just to get
Yes,
started. Like if you're
so
like
good.
scared and want to dabble, if you want to join, we have what we call the Wealth Collective community. It's $47 a month. It's
Yes.
like I have literally probably like 300 or 400 hours of content, online courses all about money, all the tools you need to get started. We do weekly or bi-weekly calls every 2 weeks with our group on different topics. um, so that is a great place just to get started into like, kind of what you're feeding, get into and like see what I'm all about, see what
Yeah.
how we can serve you better. Then I have what's called the Wealth Accelerator. So that's when you're like ready to say, "Hey, I need help." And it's about a 1 year program. And I say it takes 1 year because wealth is a journey.
Yes.
It is like to get organized. And if you're really like going through divorce or going through a major life change or about to like start retirement, I have a lot of clients, couples that are like husband and wives who are coming to me and they're like, yeah, okay, we're going to retire. How does this look? What's our tax situation like? So this is an in-depth, this is like if you have corporations and you're trying to structure your taxes and your wills and estate planning, me and my team do all of that for you.
Hmm.
Everything from risk management planning, which is like your insurance, your disability, your investment portfolios. We do a lot of pension work. So, yeah, like I have a team and there's 8 of us. We work together. I lead it and spearhead and work with the clients directly. And then as a team, we work together to help our clients. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's just really cool. Like those are like the main ways to work with us. And all of that's on my website. You can look at
Yes.
elementsgroup.com. I have all the ways you can work with us, but I wanted to make it accessible. That's why we have like easy ways to like learn about money.
Yeah, I love that. Even just having more conversations about money. That's what I love about your group is like you just start to keep it at the forefront.
Mhm.
Don't let this be that lingering thing that you should do. Get in there and start somewhere, right?
Yes.
It's that getting there. But I've really enjoyed your book too because and just the book recommendations in here is like, wow, okay, there's a
Mhm.
plethora of information just in this book. But yeah, so and as a final note, we have your freebie, which is got lots of goodies here for people to opt in with their email. We'll be sharing
Mhm.
your website as well, where it shows kind of all the ways to work with you. But I love this freebie. It's got a financial bliss starter kit, 8 essential tips to start building your wealth, 4 ways to love your money, an investment planner. This is a great
Mhm.
freebie that we're going to be sharing with the ladies here. But I'm so curious to hear from you as a final note to our audience, as just what's your message to women who want to start focusing on building their wealth? What's
Mhm.
your why?
Well, well, my why is I want to show other women that it's possible, that you can
Yeah.
literally change and create a life you absolutely are in love with, and you get to travel and do all the things. Like this year,
Yes.
I've literally lived my dream life with travel, like dream life with
Yes.
travel. Next weekend, I'm going to Boston for my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say this, like, for me, I love travel, and one of the things that I'm just saying this because why not, but I'm
Mhm.
I am no I don't fly economy anymore, I'm, like, business class only. So, like, there's
Yes.
an example of, like, up-leveling your life and saying, "You know what? I don't wanna
Yes.
tolerate this anymore. What are you tolerating in your life?" Like,
Mhm.
is it ratty underwear? Do you need a new bra? Like,
Yes.
but this is all of it. This goes to, like, um it's funny because now I'm like kind of rethinking the whole business thing, like business, like flying business versus flying economy, because I'm like, oh, I feel like I want to put some more money into investments. And you're allowed to change your mind on things. But I will
Yes.
say I've loved traveling business this year. I did like a 7-star Mediterranean cruise. I've been to New Zealand this year. Like I have traveled the
Yes.
most. And that's because like stepping into this like identity of like I am a wealthy woman, you're able to
Mhm.
do more too, right? So and it calls in the right people into your life. It just does.
Yes.
It absolutely does. So, yeah, it's like who
100%.
you surround yourself with will change the trajectory of your life. So make sure you're hanging around people who are like-minded as well. So,
Oh, I love
um,
that.
and I also want to say one more thing.
Please.
Christine doesn't know this, but she has an affiliate link to my event. And if you want to join the January 23rd, 2026, we're doing the Wealth Collective event here in Calgary,
Mm.
Alberta. And you can go and when you say who referred you, you can put in Christine Fraser, put that into the
Yay.
link. And if you go to wealthcollectivereferral.com, you can get a ticket to the Wealth Collective. You save $150
Wow.
by using that link instead of buying it at like all the information to the event is at thewealthcollective.ca. But for anyone who's listening to this, I want you to buy your ticket at wealthcollectivereferral.com and put in Christine Fraser's name and join
Ah.
us at the next Wealth Collective.
Yes, that Wealth
Mhm.
Collective was amazing, and I loved your message was beautiful and brilliant because it's the surround yourself with the people, get in those rooms, and it up levels everything, your mindset, your network, they say your network is your net worth. It's so true. It's so true. And I have been in all the rooms. I've been in the broke rooms. I've been, I've been that person. And then you're just like, it's almost like you feed off of each other. Like, yeah, I know. And then you're like, okay, I don't want to be that person anymore. And I loved what you said about, getting to travel and taking the business class. Like, this is something that I want to close with saying too is start to their power of the mind and your ability to vision is so underutilized. And a lot, even if you're living in your wherever you are, start to envision being on business class, start to envision
Mhm.
yourself walking a little taller, start to envision that, and watch the magic unfold. And I love the phrase, this is one of my girlfriends says, she's always will say, instead of this or, it's like, no,
This
this and I'm gonna do this and I always thought that was such a powerful message too when it comes to finances, because sometimes we think it's either or, and of course there's some level of making choices and decisions, but there's also the expansion of like, okay, I want this and this. Like, I want to go to Italy and Bali or whatever
Yes,
it is,
yes,
it's
absolutely,
like
yes.
it's like just keep expanding and growing and getting your financial ducks in order. This is the most valuable thing you can do for your mental health. I see it in women in their with their mental health, their physical health. I see people with eating problems that have more to do with finances than their eating. So that's why I was really excited to bring you on today, because I think it's an under talked about subject in health. Wealth is health. It is part of your well-being is around wealth. We should be able to go to massages and spa treatments and self-care and invest in ourselves and invest in all the things that we value, healthy food, beautiful meals, time with friends, and wherever you're at, you're at. It's beautiful, it's perfect as it is, but Lisa's your expansion woman.
I
So
love
I'm
it.
going to leave everybody with this final offer. We'll have this in the show notes, so you'll be able to click on that link, and we'll have the link to the Wealth Collective in January. So I am over the moon excited to send people to that event, because it's quite powerful. It just helps you expand your own your own consciousness around what's possible. So thank you so much, Lisa, for being with us today. And any one-liners for the ladies?
Oh, I don't know. One-liners. It's Friday.
I know, right?
It's like, is it time for wine yet? Yeah.
Yeah. Go kick financial
Go get,
assets in
yeah,
sexy shoes.
exactly, exactly. Go
I love
strut
it.
your stuff. Go strut your stuff.
Yes, yes, I love that. Perfect, perfect closing. Thank you so, so much. Stay on for a second. I'm going to end the call, but thank you all for watching, and make sure you download all your gifts, and hopefully see you at the wealth event in January.